growing up in my family with a lot of ties to Sindh, especially to the rural parts of Sindh, where there's a lot of farming that takes place, and I heard so many stories about the history of this province and about my own family's history and ancestors. And it was fascinating to me to listen to these tales growing up, although I don't think I really fully appreciated them as a child or as a teenager or even a young adult. But as I grew older, I started to think that some of these tales should really be set down somewhere. And then when Benazir Bhutto was killed, it was right around the time that I was actually teaching writing at a university here in Karachi. And I had been so impressed with my students. I was teaching in the Faculty of Media Sciences, and I was so impressed with these, you know, young adults who were just finding their way in the world. So the main character of Ali Sikandar was inspired by the people that I was meeting along in my work. Benazir was assassinated, and it struck me that nobody had written about her in fictionalized form since Salman Rushdie wrote about her in his very early novel Shame. So these three things were going on in my mind at the same time, and I thought, can I write a novel that combines all of them? And I think maybe it was extremely ambitious to hope that I could do it, but I sat down to try, and looks like it worked out okay. Well, there are two types of cultures that I'm actually bringing attention to in the book. One is Sindhi culture, as you point out, and that's the culture that is, prevalent in the province, but that's restricted to the geographical location of Pakistan itself. The other culture that I'm bringing out is Sufi culture. Now, Sufism is the branch of mystical Islam. Most people associate it with Rumi and his poetry, but Sufism is actually much broader and much deeper, and has many different what's the word I'm looking for? Many different variations and versions all across the Muslim world. And what I was trying to capture was the Sufi culture that is particular to Sindh, how it's practiced in Sindh. And as you rightly say, this is culture that very few people know about outside of Pakistan, and a lot of people inside Pakistan don't know it either. So I was exploring that world myself and writing the novel at the same time. And as far as it being an endangered culture, well, we are threatened by religious extremism in many different ways, and this is one of those ways where religious extremists would like to stamp out these practices, and they consider them to be antithetical to the Puritan type of religion that they feel everybody should practice in Pakistan. So my writing about this culture was, in a way, my resistance against that idea and that threat.